Okay, so this reading is going to be for Aries. I'm trying to talk loud to speak over the fans, the noise in the background. Alright, but this is a reading for Aries. So let's take a look. First, I want to do a 3-position spread to just see what's going on. I'm working with a stacked deck here. So let's check it out. In the first position, we have the 8 of Swords. Second position, we have the Apprentice. Third position, we have the 10 of Pentacles. So reading this just off the top, it looks like Aries energy comes into the reading with the 8 of Swords. So there's a feeling of being trapped or some sort of entrapment. The 8 of Swords to me is a self-imposed imprisonment. However, sometimes the current doesn't realize that it's a self-imposed obligatory entrapment that they find themselves in. Sometimes one would need to really sit with themselves and be honest with themselves and be introspective and trace the cause back to its roots, and they'll likely find uh, some accountability and reasons within themselves why they find themselves in this predicament. The following card here in the second position, okay, so this position represent recent past energy, and this one is more present energy, and it being represented by the Apprentice. Okay, it's the first major arcana, but it's named the zero major arcana because it talks about a new beginning after endings in a karmic cycle. So we're looking at some release and some freedom here, and we'll get more context as the reading progresses. And speaking of progressing, as we move into the next position, which represent future energy, it's the 10 of Pentacles. So this is a positive progression, and we're looking at success because the 10 of Pentacles is the height of minor arcana energy, you know, in the suit of Pentacles. So it looks like whatever they were sitting in, this energy here, it led them to success. That's what it looks like off the surface. So to clarify this and get more information, let's take a look, because that's my interpretation off the page. Here I'm going to use this clarifying deck to begin with. It's also stacked. I like using stacked decks, especially when I'm just getting into a reading, to get the chronological order of the energy in the minor arcana and the major arcanas. But let's take a look here at the 8 of Swords and see, why is the 8 of Swords here? Okay, so the 3 of Swords are revealed. So there is some sort of heartbreak and disappointment. Let me see. What else? Okay, the Queen of Fire is Aries energy. Okay, so it looks like that's pretty much the only details I'm getting to clarify there. Alright, so now I'm going to look here in the Apprentice. Why is the Apprentice here? Alright, so it looks like a release, because we were looking at the 3 of Swords, and that's painful. A sense of betrayal and disappointment, a heartbreak. So a release here in the Apprentice, and the Tarot is looking like the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups is apathy, and it's also getting emotional balance within oneself, and the ability to be balanced with others as well. Is there anything else? Okay, so reflecting back on the 3 of Swords that we've seen and the 7 of Swords. So we're getting a release, and there was some distrustworthy energy in that 7 of Swords that had rendered the heartbreak, getting more additional details there. Okay. See if there's anything else. Alright, so healing is taking place. And so that sense of freedom. And the 9 of Pentacles, that's feeling comfortable in your environment. There's feng shui in your environment. Yeah. So let's see what else. It's just one pentacle away from the 10, actually, the 9 of Pentacles. And as we move in progression, that's what we have. So it feels like accomplishment here. All right. So then we have the 10. Let's take a look at the 10. Why is the 10 of Pentacles here? Okay, 4 of Swords. So again, a sense of peace and stability, especially mentally speaking. I feel like this is also representing some manifestation here, because in the 4 of Swords there's prayer and meditation and preparation before launching out, and the strategizing of how to get on this mental battlefield and perform and be successful. So that's what we're looking at here for Aries, is energy. To continue, I like to cultivate a Celtic cross. So we're starting off with the 9 of Pentacles, and we've seen that in our clarifying deck, and we have the Page of Pentacles here. So the next position that we'll look for is the 4th position. That represents energy from the recent past. I'm just restacking this clarifying deck for when I need to use it again. Alright, so looking for the 4th position here. Okay, 2 of Fire. Looking for the 5th position next, which is crowning the Celtic cross. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles. So we have the 10 of Pentacles grounding and the Knight of Pentacles crowning, giving atmosphere reading. Alright, now there's a section of cards here that come out for our 6th position, which represent energies coming toward the Corinth in the near future. Okay, making its appearance around Queen of Pentacles and 2 of Pentacles. On the bottom of the deck, there is the 6 of Swords, moving away from a toxic situation into a better situation. So we see, Aries surrounded by success and around Pentacles. That's money, abundance, stability, foundation, success. All right, then we saw the 6 of Swords energy moving on with all the Pentacles, right? Because what's going on here with these 7 of Swords here? And why did Aries start out in the 8 of Swords energy anyway? And it was clarified. We saw 3 of Swords and we saw the 7 of Swords when we were clarifying that position, So the 7 of Swords being here, and whenever I have the 8 of Swords, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, this trickster tried to put this person in a predicament, had some backstabbing and breaking hearts and causing some stress over them. And look at that, 10 of Swords. We're looking at progression because, like I said, I like working with the stacked deck to see the natural progression of things. There's some Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords, King of Swords, and then we got our Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so that was the beginning of getting to the Pentacles in the midst of a lot of stress, a lot of battle, especially mental battles taking place, Alright, so it looks like that energy here falls into our 6th position. So it looks like whatever type of mayhem and shenanigans that took place in the past. And so we're looking here in the past, we have the 2 of Fire. So I feel like Aries is pretty much on top of this as far as they have some intuition about what's going on, some discernment about what's going on, and they're also several steps ahead of what's going on. That's what it looks like to me, because now I'm looking to see, well, it looks like this energy is trying to come back, maybe pursue Aries, take advantage, or what are they trying to do? But Aries is already on top of it with this two of fire. They're already spotting. Aries is already picking up on what's going to be happening, you know? That's what it looks like. They're several steps ahead. Got their Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles grounding. I mean, one thing, and sometimes in a general reading such as this, the cross watcher is actually, it's their storyline being told. So the energy could be mutual. I mean, is Aries putting a Seven of Swords to somebody, putting them in a predicament, capitalizing off a situation and running off with some bounty, some abundance and bounty? What's going on, you know? But whoever and whatever's going on, it looks like somebody's a couple steps ahead and someone is in pursuit. But let's get more context and take a look. So, I'm going to try, actually, see if I can get a clarifier and just get a single card to begin summarizing the sixth position. Let's see what it looks like. Sometimes that happens and I take another stack deck or another deck that I have available and I'll look for a consolidation. But like I said, I like to see the progression, the stages. I like to see that information. But let's see if it's consolidated. So it's showing Page of Pentacles. Let me see what else. Two of Fire. Let's see what else. Okay, and that's all that is given. Page of Pentacle and Two of Fire. So we already have the Two of Fire on the table, so I'm going to get a Page of Pentacles to put in that spot. Then we can take the rest of the deck. And continue working. Alright, so next we're going to look at our challenge in the seventh position, which work in tandem with the second position, which is the challenge to the thesis statement, which is the Eight of Swords, okay? So in the challenge is this new sense of freedom, okay? This new beginning, alright? So, and that makes sense because we're looking at Aries, you know, and their new beginning with the Ten of Pentacles. And so the challenge and what we're looking at is what's up with this new beginning and who's in pursuit and what's in pursuit and what's going on. So let's take a look at what's challenging this new beginning with that Apprentice. Oh, guys, look. It's the Magician. Now, when the Magician energy comes into my reading, it either is describing pretty much two things. Alright? It's either a trickster and a manipulator, or, you know, a finesser, or everything coming into proper alignment, and it's a perfect opportunity, okay? When preparation meets opportunity, that's a good recipe for success. That's Magician energy for me. We're looking at the High Priestess and the King of Cups. So we already are picking up that Aries has high intuition, and also their discipline is on point as well. And that they're several steps ahead and they're just picking up coins as they go. So let's see what's going on here. Looking for the 8th position now. Oh, Three of Pentacles. 9th position. Oh, there goes Aries energy. Queen of Fire. And the 10th position. Alright, the Sun. Blessed by the Sun. Okay, and again with that intuition, because we're looking at Judgment and the Moon. So, and several steps ahead, because it looks like Aries had some leading and guiding, intuitive direction in their steps. When I see the sun, this is expose. This is also blessed, like being sun-kissed by the Most High, a blessing. And it's kind of leaving things on a cliffhanger, but we're not done. So let's take a look at this one here, the Three of Pentacles. So we've seen a series of cards there that I put back in the deck after looking at it. You know, Queen, King, like all the court cards and the suit of swords. Um, so the Three of Pentacles, you know, it looked like there was more than one people collaborating or involved in this picture that we're looking at in this spread. So I would like to clarify those Three of Pentacles and see what's going on. Uh, Generally, when seeing the Three of Pentacles, it's either talking about obstructive interference or it's talking about a collaboration taking place with the intent to optimize and improve a situation. So let's clarify it. Why is the Three of Pentacles here? Okay, Four of Cups, Three of Swords, Two of Pentacles. Okay, so far I'm getting that this circle is familiar. Something about this circle could be like work or some type of circle that Aries finds themselves around in a capacity where they're on autopilot, like they have a reason to be there and they're moving on autopilot, like they know what they're doing and there's a routine established. So there's apathy. It's just kind of like a basic schedule routine that they're involved in. So they're surrounded by a collective described like that. And then we did see the Three of Swords. So the offender, I feel like, is in this circle. The offender is in that circle of Three of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles, we're looking at the juggler. So I feel like that's probably Aries energy and maybe even others that are multitasking. Let me continue to clarify. It looks like, yeah, I was going to say that usually the Two of Fire usually closes me out. And you see how I'm literally getting a repeat. But this is what I was wondering, guys, if I was going to see the Eight of Pentacles. It felt like a work environment, you know, some sort of environment that Aries is in and making money. Ten of Fire. Okay, and that closes me out. So yeah, it feels like this could be work like I described, and it was feeling like work, right? Some sort of routine, you're on some sort of schedule, and there's a violator in the midst of it, and that causes Three of Sword energy, and so we're seeing that Aries is coming to their breaking point as far as being there. And the Ace of Fire, so it looks like a new opportunity could have approached Aries. A new opportunity or an advancement, a raise, promotion, some unexpected income. All right. So let's see what else. Aries looking like a boss over here. So we got the Jack of Swords making an appearance here, Queen of Pentacles making an appearance to clarify the Queen of Fire, and the Two of Pentacles clarifying. The Four of Pentacles made an appearance here. I feel like with those court cards that clarified Aries' energy, we're looking at a boss, we're looking at somebody who's intellectual, someone, and we've been looking at third house energy. You know, it was Gemini's energy. Gemini governs the third house. And we were looking at some cutting edge technology or something that was launching, that was going to be groundbreaking, innovative. So I feel like this energy is describing Aries here. It's very intelligent. So she's not only charismatic and beautiful and charming, and with this dynamic extrovert energy busying around, she's got this boss energy in her. She's very smart as well, and she has cutting edge Midas touched ways about her. Let's see what's going on. And again, it's energy specific, not gender specific, but she came out the queen. So let's see what's going on with the sun. Okay, yeah, you see there? That's the Four of Fire. So the Four of Fire context is everything, but that does describe the workplace, a building, a place of business. The sun is shining on Aries at work. The King of Swords. All right, now the King of Swords making an appearance technically is Aquarius's energy. All air signs are embodied symbolically, which would be the third house we talked about and felt. And I've actually seen the third house make an appearance, clarifying the Queen of Fire. So the King of Swords is Aquarius that governs the 11th house, which is the world stage for me. Basically, when I see the 11th house, large groups and organizations. So Aries could be working in a large group or organization, or the type of work that this Aries is doing could affect um, a large scale of influence. Okay, that's what I'm picking up with the King of Swords here. And the only other sword that we haven't mentioned yet is Libra. Libra governs the 7th house, which is the house where Venus is, love, and also the house that governs marriages and those type of relationships. Those relationships in the 7th house are also co-workers too. Um, all right, but let's see what else. Okay, and Queen of Pentacles, and also that reminds me too, the King of Swords has boss energy, knows what to do, knows how to go about getting it. Very intelligent. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles technically is Capricorn's energy, the 10th house, which governs career and work ethics, standards, and rules and regulations. All right, so she's very dynamic, right? We already knew she was, but wow, look at all these attributes being described about her. Six of Pentacles. I feel like the Six of Pentacles describes that she's also equitable, fair. Uh, she is a problem solver, solution based. She is charitable. She's likable. What is she? She is like a diffuser of conflict. Oh, no wonder she's so many steps ahead. And what else is it I'm trying to say? Oh, ambassadorial, like a mediator type energy, man. This is describing her. She's being described in a very beautiful way, isn't she? Wow. Isn't she lovely? That's what I thought about when I said, isn't she? Okay, so now the Page of Pentacles, technically that's Virgo's uh, card, and Virgo governs the 6th house, the house of health and help and service. Why is the Page of Pentacles here? Oh, look at there. Okay, so it could be a helper. The Two of Cups is there. Love. Six of Swords, so it could be somebody helping diffuse situations, help in strategizing, help in uh, venting and bouncing ideas off of each other, helping move away from the toxic situation into a better situation, probably even helping diffuse and navigate, helping Aries stay several steps ahead, and oh, helping to deal with that Seven of Swords energy too. Okay, Four of Fire, helping with the promotion and or the stability, and we've seen the Four of Fire here where the sun is shining. The King of Swords, so it doesn't have to be a Virgo sun individual. It could just have somebody that has strong Virgo placements, or just embodying the help and the service that 6th house describes. Right now Venus is in the 6th house. But also the King of Swords. So this lets us know that if it is a Virgo, or whoever this person of interest is, they could also be a boss, or a co-worker, someone working with Aries. Nine of Pentacles, so showing very beautiful energy. Nine of Pentacles, again, that is Virgo and Venus energy. All right, and we're getting closed out there with this. So beautiful energy describing this person. So yeah. So this is external energy coming toward the reading, coming toward Aries in the near future. Uh, so that collaboration looks like it is designed to optimize and improve the situation. We did see that there's potentially a, what do we call them? A infiltrator, traitor in that circle, the ops. And then we have Aries energy as described coming toward that sixth position, and the outcome is the sun. So it looks like we are, we've developed another spread to confirm good energy surrounding Aries in our first house in that reading. Okay, so that's bringing us to the end here of this reading, but I'm not done for our first house. I wanted to get some more information. Okay, so I feel like it goes like this. Alright, so let's get us a deep shuffle going here. I want to get a different spread. Okay, so we have the Judgment and the Eight of Cups making an appearance. I feel like there was a ruling made in Aries' favor. Aries is ascending in their karmic chapter, moving to higher heights. Confirmed it with the Ace of Pentacles here. Confirmed that with the Ace of Pentacles. So the Judgment and the Ace of Pentacles making an appearance. Promotions, raises, new opportunities. All right, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Queen of Fire. That's Aries energy, aka the first house. The first shuffle was a little difficult to get through there, but maybe there was some misalignment the first time. Second time it went through very well. Ace of Swords making an appearance around this Queen of Fire. It reminds me, I think Aries has a helper, a supporter, and maybe more than one, probably. There goes the Hermit, y'all. Speaking of, right? We've seen that Page of Pentacles in the previous spread in that sixth position. Okay, so let's see what this card is. Oh, Hermit and Four of Cups. Well, I would say, Aries, if you find yourself in a routine and it's just business as usual, and just dealing out your daily tasks and routines. Oh yeah, the sixth house does govern daily tasks and routines too. There may be a cup appearing out of nowhere. You might otherwise miss it if you weren't looking out for it. When I see the Four of Cups, I say, hey, look out. There might be some change on the horizon, something, a cup of love, a cup of inspiration, something maybe coming out to you soon. Okay, so it could be that promotion, that raise that we were looking at, guys. So this would be, hey, you know what, if you're feeling in a stressed out situation, because we did see Aries come into this picture with the Eight of Swords energy, you might feel like you're surrounded by some sort of saboteur energy or some hater, some op. It's like, look out, because something is on the horizon with your name on it, and you probably already feel it. You probably already have a hint, a hunch, indication of what that is. But if there's a new job, apply for that job. If you're looking for a promotion, take a look in the adverts there for new opportunities if you're looking for one. Could be a new love offer coming towards you. Okay, but something to that extent. Okay, Aries. So we're going to keep looking here, but I feel like let's go through the houses and take a look at your connections. First is looking at Aries with other Aries. Around the Hermit, the Page of Pentacles makes an appearance. The Hermit makes an appearance around the Three of Pentacles. I'm shuffling. Dear Holy Spirit, please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Aries. Connection with other Aries. Here we go. Aries, there's your card, the Emperor and the Hermit. Okay, the Emperor is on the top of the deck now. Three of Cups making an appearance here. Okay. Difficult to shuffle there. So, you know, and I'm noticing that. And I feel like if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. Might be working on something that needs a little more persistence, but not too much. It looks like you have the Midas touch. Just a little finagling, a little patience, a little retry. Aries and the Knight of Fire just made an appearance. Well, the Emperor and the Knight of Fire. The Emperor and the King of Fire. I'm shuffling here until I get some resonance and the deck breaks apart for me in a certain type of way that lets me know. So we have the King of Fire and the Ten of Pentacles making an appearance there. The King of Fire is on the top of the deck. Technically that's Leo, but that's also Aries energy as well as Sagittarius. Leo governs the 5th house. The 5th house deals with romance, courtship, erotica. Sometimes where an astrologer and or a seer will look to get information about conception and children. You see there? So that is a spread that developed. So let me look at it. And so that lets me know that I may have resonance established in the deck. And there's usually a message off the surface here. So I'm looking at the Page of Fire, right? The Page of Fire is technically Sagittarius's energy, the 9th house. The 9th house governs higher learning and also traveling. Higher learning, especially in the capacity of philosophy, but in every realm of knowledge. Sagittarius's planet is also Jupiter. But moving ahead now, there's a Tower. So what's going on, huh? Oh, guys, look. So the Eight of Swords, the famous Eight of Swords that we came in seeing Aries energy in the Eight of Swords. So we're looking at the Page of Fire and this Eight of Sword energy. The Tower is in the 2nd position. All right, and just behind the Tower is the Chariot. So we're looking for, it looks like a breakthrough on both ends. A breakthrough in these Eight of Swords, a breakthrough in this Tower situation. And let's see the energy surrounding the King of Fire. Is some sadness and some regret. So in context there, it looks like Aries was so busy breaking through and breaking out and collecting those coins and being successful and hitting the bullseye every time. They didn't even have time to sit and reflect or cry or feel anything until they finally, you know, came to a point where they can rest in their own energy and their own dynamic energy. And there's 5 of Cups. There's some sadness and there's some regret. Could be some hurt feelings in the wake of things when Aries had to bust out and break through and as described. So first of all, because it's like, who even put you in that Eight of Sword energy anyways? Did Aries have to put somebody in a cage? Now look at that Chariot. Boom, you see what I said? Breakthrough, do you see that? How could you not see a breakthrough with that energy? Boom. And I feel like too, that could be Aries breaking out of that confined situation. Okay, busting through that glass ceiling. All right. And when Aries takes their energy with them, and when Aries leaves that place, they can't even hold their own weight up. Whoa, look at all those pentacles that came out of there too. 6 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and the Chariot. You see what I mean? So I would have to say, dang, Aries, if you're not already looking out for your opportunity and you're feeling like that place is not for you, look around for your opportunities, because think something has your name on it to get up out of there and to be blessed on your way. Look at that. See, guys? That's the apprentice. That is breaking out of that confinement and launching out into a new start. This is talking about a new start after an ending. Okay? And about that being a self-imposed imprisonment, you know, a self-imposed imprisonment. Because I find in the Eight of Swords, usually that person is there because they feel obligated to be there. They're there because there's some sort of unfinished business or some loose ends they want to tie up, some closure that they want to have, some lessons they feel they might need to learn. But you see how that can be, how that is actually self-imposed. So Aries could have just maybe let go or accomplished tying up those loose ends or whatever. But yeah, so we're looking at the freedom. And so we looked at that Two of Pentacles. That was juggling and multitasking, wearing different hats of responsibility and job titles, and so being very capable. All right, and I'm reading from the bottom towards the top, but it would really go like this. So the Page of Fire, standing at a crossroad, intuitively will decide which way they need to go. This is going forward with the win at all cost mentality. So if this is Aries' energy, moving forward with the win at all cost mentality, where the other alternative is to choose your battles. But if they're winning it all, yeah, there could be some hurt feelings in the wake of it, but they're determined to be successful. It looks like they don't have any hard feelings, you know. They feel good about whatever decisions that they had to make. Now they're standing on the horizon on the dock of the bay waiting for their ships to come in, see what's coming towards Aries. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And so that, I feel like, is a certain type of judgment because it's a culmination of um, collective karmic energy from the previous chapter. So we'll see how we get and how we go. We got the Eight of Pentacles. So I was picking up that there's a heavy hint towards work environment. So yeah, banging out those pentacles there, coming to their breaking point with the Ten of Fire there. But as was described, I was feeling like this particular Aries is a couple of steps ahead. So they're not rash. They don't make, this Aries is not making rash decisions. It looks like they're making calculated and intuitive decisions, because we see Aries coming to a breaking point, but also weighing in the options. Well, what should I do? Should I cut my losses? And how can I nurture this? And how can I get the coins out of that? And how can I... So it looks like there's some planning. And notice how there are pentacles there. We did notice that Aries is surrounded by pentacles, including the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles made appearance, Ace of Pentacles. So looking at this pentacle tree and being surrounded by pentacles and likely earth-bound individuals, earth element individuals like a Virgo, Taurus, and or a Capricorn. Taurus governing the second house. That energy is talking about money, value systems, income, resources, pleasures. 10th house, work, careers, rules, regulations, expectations, status. And the 6th house, service and daily routines, etc. So anyhow, in addition to this calculative disposition that we're describing, there's the High Priestess already talking about the intuition, and also the Knight of Swords, communication, information, logic. This is a very dynamic, well-rounded person of interest here, intelligent. Here comes wish fulfillment, and there goes the Devil card. And the Devil card, also the 10th house, Capricorn, work, careers, rules, regulation, justice, a favor, being made in, judgment made in your, a ruling made in your favor, temperance, blending energies together that don't normally mix well, the Knight of Cups and passion, King of Cups, healing, spiritual depths, a regenerative metamorphosis type of a cycle, and transitions and rebirths after deaths, new beginning after ending, standing on your square, the position of leverage, having the clarity with the Ace of Swords. It was stressful. You made it look easy and beautiful, but it was very stressful. Many nights of crying burning the candle at both ends of the stick. A lot of stress, but you're emotionally detached from that. Looks like there may be a contract, an offer coming towards you in the near future, and it looks like it looks beautiful and you accept this new beginning. Ooh, there goes the Six of Swords, moving from a toxic situation to a better situation. There goes the Page of Pentacles, as we've described in our previous reading and clarified. Page of Pentacles is full of positive energy towards you, a lot of helpful energy for you, Aries. And Aries looking at their picture at the biggest landscape so they can see their picture at the biggest perspective and start making future plans, making adjustments, amendments, reprioritizing, etc. And it looks like, oh, what do they see? They might see that trickster. Is that a trickster? Anyhow, they're several steps ahead, so whoever was coming after them with them Seven of Swords and with ulterior motives and hidden agendas, Aries is on top of it. Here goes the new chapter. So, and then there goes the Eight of Swords. So I feel like Aries was doing all of that. Oh my goodness, guys, look at that. Aries was doing all of that intellectual discourse that we just described, all of them mental gymnastics and everything, as well as putting the elbow to the grindstone, putting that elbow grease in, and then they find themselves in the Eight of Swords. So it looks like they're uncomfortable. It looks like they're imprisoned. It looks like they're shackled down. But they have so much on their plate and so much that they're thinking about and so many contingency plans and so many plans and helpers and people in positions. Man, this person, because we looked at all of that dynamic energy as described, like they're already ready to go again. It was almost an understatement for Aries. When opportunity meets preparation, that is a recipe for success. So now, I was like, what's up with this self-imposed imprisonment, Aries? This is a swords woman in this figure here, looking bound and distressed. But actually, she could be more of a kamikaze or a decoy because she's really adequate with all them swords surrounding her. She's very equipped to defend herself and very intelligent because those swords represent knowledge, logic, information, communication, technology. Okay, so self-imposed imprisonment confirmed and verified, and that's what we've seen in that position. We already seen the breakthrough, but we got the background contextual information of just how Aries, when it was time to move, well, look at that Chariot. Aries was on the go as that dynamic fire blaze that they are. Look at that, matter of fact. That's Aries energy. Man, no wonder they were picking up them coins like Mario. Boing, boing, boing. All the coins and breaking out, man. People didn't even know it hit them. Where's Aries? Aries is gone. And no wonder. Just getting around to taking a breath. Whew. Exhale. Whew. And feeling everything, including the sadness, disappointment, regret. This is an interesting Five of Cups. Without going through this, because there's still a lot of card combinations there, this is an interesting Five of Cups. I wonder what I might see there. I feel like I might see something I've never seen before in that Five of Cups with everything that has just been described. Let's see what's going on there. Wow, but we did see Three of Swords making appearances around there, so it does appear that Aries was long suffering for a minute, right? Well, let's see what's going on in this Five of Cups. Oh, guys, look. It went straight to the Six of Swords. Straight to just leaving the toxicity. Okay? Just leaving behind. Just moving away from the toxicity into a better environment. Oh. Man. Because I was wondering. I was like, man, this five of Cups, it's looking like actually like a sigh of relief, like, you know, that excited joy that you feel. It's sad too because you're leaving behind stuff, but it's also this excitable joy, like, oh, wow, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long, long time. A long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Let's see what else. Oh, clarity, guys. I felt like it, man. I gotta be honest. I never seen such a beautiful Five of Cup before. I felt it, so I can relate. But seeing it in the cards like this, guys, clarity in regard to this work, in regard to that career path. Wow. Mm. It's been too hard to live it, but I'm afraid to die. Let me see what's going on. But Aries is not afraid. Aries looked that thing in the eye and said, bet, type energy. There goes the Ten of Fire and the Ten of Cups, y'all. Came to your breaking point. Got a breakdown for a breakthrough. You've seen the Nine of Fire, Eight of Fire, communications, walls up. Nine of Swords. Aries makes it look easy, but it wasn't easy. They definitely earned that. King of Pentacles. Second house. Four of Pentacles. Alright. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, just cooling right where they are. And not overextending themselves, especially not at their own expense type energy. So let's see. Now, the Ten of Fire made a couple of appearances, and that's talking about Sagittarius and Saturn energy. We see Capricorn, so Saturn energy, Capricorn, that's Capricorn's planet. And, you know, Capricorn that deals with the rules and the regulations and the careers and the status and everything like that, too. So that's interesting. Yeah, and no wonder we would see Sagittarius' energy there. This is also Leo. Okay, so we're getting a little hint of love energy, too, as Leo governs the fifth house that deals with romance and relationships. There goes the Emperor and also the King of Swords. So we're looking at a lot of court cards here. So I feel like, remember when we were looking at them Three of Pentacles and it was looking like it was that energy to optimize the situation? But here's some key figures. The King of Swords, Aquarius, 11th house. The Emperor, Aries, the first house. The King of Fire, the fifth house that governs entertainment, romance, relationships. But it is also like the platonic entertainment of things too. Maybe Aries not only made it look easy, but also made it fun in the process. Anyhow, whatever have you. I feel like there goes potential collaborative circle that Aries is dealing with. Ten of Pentacles, the Magician coming into alignment, and also possibly some tricksters, because don't put anything by an Aries, especially when they have that win at all cost mentality. But a Ten of Swords there, so enough is enough. Emotional overwhelmedness, but they turn lemons into lemonade and start to see options. So those applications, those raises, the opportunity out there is on the horizon, I feel like, for Aries. With your name on it. The Sun. We've seen the Sun making an appearance to bless the situation. The Hermit going in for the healing and the internal guidance. And the Knight of Wands, we're seeing dynamic movement. Aries puts boots to the ground and also gets out of their head and starts to apply some of this action. Not some of it, that's an understatement. All of the actions. And the Three of Cups, a time for celebration and collaboration and creativity and manifestation. Five of Fire, block, arguing, fights. Now, are we surprised to see the Seven of Swords make an appearance around that block? Arguing, fights, potential, all of that. But look at that. What follows is the strength. Woo. We already seen that Aries is surrounded by a tough team of collaborators or people collaborating with Aries, and they're not anything to shake a stick at. So we have the strength following and backing Aries when that altercation, fight, expose, Seven of Swords, imposter, infiltrator, the ops, the no good somebody. Anyhow, there's the Page of Cups making an appearance, the Queen of Swords making an appearance, Four of Swords, Four of Fire, Four of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, the Moon, the Death, 13 Major Arcana, Three of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Four of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, the World. Ooh, and after the World, the Lovers. Wow. All right, so the Lovers in the World and success as we've seen. Then we got this block up around the Empress. So I feel like, yo, that's our business, right? Aries got some love. So we was hitting on some of that romance, and love is on the horizon. So it feels like after such triumph for Aries, love comes into Aries' life. You may have already had that lover in your life and now just have time to spend quality time together and celebrate together and go retreat in your privacy. And this is the Empress sitting really pretty. Okay, we've seen the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is Pisces energy, also Hangman energy, this euphoric, this dream state, this beautiful time period where I feel that those good energies that that Aries worked so hard to achieve, that it's sustained with longevity and that dynamic, being able to think outside of the box and creativity that you have and cutting edge, you know, just on the edge of innovations, and it's also beautiful. And when I see the King of Swords too, the King of Swords brings about that cutting edge, brilliance, and also rebellions. You know, when we've seen the altercations and fights breaking out with around that op energy. But anyhow, moving back here, the Ten of Cups, a ruling made in your favor, reconciliations taking place. The Two of Cups, love, communication, clearing the air, and the Page of Swords, Gemini energy, third house energy, communication, around the communication, right, clearing the air with this dynamic information, intelligence, logic. We've been reading for a minute in the third house, Gemini's house, and it just looked like there was about to be this cutting edge, this revolutionary technology and newfound brilliance launching out. Looks like the time is now, and Aries is on top of it, capitalizing and moving with that current. The Knight of Pentacles, here comes beautiful Aries energy, the Queen of Fire. Okay, and now we're getting closer to this Five of Cups. With all of this beauty, it feels like Aries just has little moments to retreat and really get to lick their own wounds and to heal themselves, or to reflect on the betrayal. And there could be active betrayals in the midst of all of this beauty that takes place. But the Three of Swords makes an appearance. The Five of Pentacles feeling left out in the cold. Now here, with additional context being made too, this also could be the regret of those who went against Aries, those who created obstacles for Aries instead of joining in with Aries, licking their wounds and feeling outside in the cold, looking in at Aries be so successful and beautiful, reminiscing on what could have been in the past when there was an opportunity. Could be either or, one of those things, if not all of the above. The Six of Fire. Okay, context is everything, because in a love reading, I've been saying the Six of Fire, and it was having one foot in and one foot out. In a career, no, work environment, or some sort of social network, as had been described in this reading, the Six of Fire is electing a leader, you know, and just being surrounded by a supportive network of people that want to see you be successful. Again, boss energy. And Nine of Pentacles, okay? Beautiful environment. Venus in Virgo, love, travel, learning, higher education, and even just self-taught. But it's one of the beautiful cards that you can get. And just one pentacle away from the 10. And then the Five of Cups. So it almost looks like, oh my gosh, can you believe it? What a journey. Whew. Well, that's what we're looking at. and that spread that developed while shuffling. Okay, so Aries. Do some more shuffles to see, because that's what it felt like. So here's the Page of Fire and the King of Fire here. Oh, what is this? All right. Oh, my animals. Three of Pentacles. All right. So we've already described the Three of Pentacles and the dynamic that they've served in this reading for Aries. So we have the Queen of Fire, which is Aries' energy moving through the Three of Pentacles. Then we have the King of Fire making an appearance here with this card. 13 major arcana, Scorpio energy, transformative energy. And so, yeah, looking at this dynamic transformation as had been described in the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Cups being there. I feel like the deck continues to break apart. The Six of Pentacles is one of my favorite Pentacle cards. It describes having prayers answered, charity, your needs met, even if out of thin air. Okay, guys. Alright, so I wanted to go through and look at your connections in the different houses, but I just heard some in my house make a lot of noise. So I'm going to go check that out, and then I'll be back to do a part 2 to go through your house and look at your connections. Well, that was just Aries with Aries. We were looking at Aries with Aries energy. So that was your reading, and that's you with other Aries. It looks like a very compatible connection between the two of you, and also you within yourself. So this has been a beautiful reading, Aries. I'll be back to do another as soon as possible. Thank you for your support on the channel. Until next time, peace.